Fourth Wing is a fantasy novel by Rebecca Yarros, set in a world where humans and dragons live side by side. The story is focused on Violet Sorrengail, a young woman who is suddenly forced to compete in a brutal military program known as the Riders' Quadrant, where aspiring dragon riders are trained to protect their kingdom, Navarre, from external threats. Here's a breakdown of the key elements of the story. The world of Bastiath and dragons. Navarre is a kingdom constantly at war with other nations, and its defense heavily relies on a specialized military force of dragon riders. Dragons are sentient creatures with immense power, and they choose riders to bond with, granting them access to their elemental powers. The riders must train in the dangerous Bastiath War College, where only the strongest and most skilled survive. Violet Sorrengail's struggle. Violet is the daughter of the fierce General Sorrengail, the commanding officer of the military. Her mother has high expectations for her, intending for Violet to follow in the family's footsteps by becoming a dragon rider. However, Violet is physically weak and frail due to her lifelong health issues, and she had originally been training to be a scribe, which is a much safer and intellectual path compared to becoming a rider. When her mother forces her to enter the Riders' Quadrant, Violet finds herself in a life-threatening situation. The college's training regimen is ruthless, and many cadets die before they even get a chance to bond with a dragon. However, failure is not an option because those who don't succeed are killed, either by rival cadets or by falling in the trials. The Riders' Quadrant and Life or Death Challenges. The Riders' Quadrant is a brutal environment where only the strong survive. Cadets compete fiercely to bond with dragons, but it's not a guaranteed process. Dragons have the ultimate say in choosing who they bond with, and they are very selective. If a cadet fails to bond with a dragon, they are either killed by other cadets or left vulnerable to attacks. Violet faces constant bullying and life-threatening challenges because of her smaller size and fragile body. Her classmates, especially the stronger and more ruthless ones, see her as an easy target. However, Violet uses her intelligence and quick thinking to navigate these threats. She doesn't rely on brute strength, but rather on her wit and strategy to survive. Dragon bonding and powers. One of the most important parts of becoming a rider is bonding with a dragon. Dragons have elemental powers such as controlling fire, lightning, and other forces of nature. When they bond with a rider, the rider gains access to these powers, making them formidable warriors. However, the bond is a two-way connection. If a rider dies, their dragon dies too, and if a dragon dies, it often causes great pain or death for the rider. Despite her challenges, Violet eventually manages to bond not with one but two dragons, which is an extremely rare and powerful occurrence. She bonds with a fierce, older dragon named Tarn and a smaller, quicker dragon named Andarna. This bond gives her access to their elemental powers, which significantly boosts her chances of survival in the Riders' Quadrant. The mysterious Xaden Ryerson. One of the most complex and intriguing characters in the book is Xaden Ryerson, the son of a man who was executed as a traitor after a rebellion against the Navarre government. Xaden is a senior cadet and a powerful rider who initially appears as an antagonist in Violet's journey. He is cold, mysterious, and dangerous, but as the story progresses, Violet begins to realize that there is more to Xaden than meets the eye. Xaden's father was killed by General Sorrengail, Violet's mother, which creates an immediate tension between Violet and Xaden. However, despite their conflicting backgrounds, the two of them are drawn together by their shared experiences in the Riders' Quadrant. As Violet grows stronger and proves her worth, a slow-burn romance develops between her and Xaden, even though they are on opposite sides of a political divide. Rebellion and Secrets. As Violet delves deeper into the politics of the Riders' Quadrant and the wider kingdom, she begins to uncover secrets about the government and the rebellion that Xaden's father was a part of. She learns that the kingdom is hiding certain truths from its citizens, and that the rebellion wasn't as simple as it seemed. Xaden and other senior cadets, whose parents were involved in the rebellion, have their own reasons for being at Bastiath War College, and they are plotting in the shadows. They are working to expose the corruption within the kingdom and challenge the status quo. Violet, initially unaware of these deeper issues, is eventually pulled into this rebellion as she starts to question the authority of her mother and the government she has always trusted. Violet's growth. Over the course of the book, Violet undergoes significant growth, both physically and mentally. She starts off as a fragile and insecure young woman who doubts her ability to survive in the brutal environment of the Writer's Quadrant. However, through sheer determination, intelligence, and the unexpected power she gains from bonding with two dragons, Violet transforms into a formidable rider. Her journey is not just about survival, but also about discovering her own strength and standing up against the oppressive systems in place. She learns to trust herself and her instincts, and she realizes that her worth is not determined by her physical limitations, but by her courage and resilience. Conclusion: war and betrayal. As the story progresses, tensions between the Kingdom of Navarre and its enemies rise, leading to all-out war. Violet and her fellow cadets are thrown into battle, where they must use their dragon-bonded powers to defend their homeland. However, Violet also realizes that the real threat may come from within, as the government's secrets and the brewing rebellion pose just as much danger as the external enemies. By the end of Fourth Wing, Violet is no longer the fragile, uncertain girl she was at the beginning. She has grown into a strong and capable dragon rider, ready to face the challenges ahead. However, the political intrigue, romance, and personal rivalries she has encountered hint at even greater struggles to come in the future. Fourth Wing is a tale of self-discovery, adventure, and rebellion. Set in a world where dragons are both allies and weapons, Violet's journey from a seemingly weak girl to a powerful warrior captures the heart of the story, while the larger political conflicts set the stage for the next phase of her adventure.